funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and reconnect to myself and all that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress. The ring be looking like when blessings drop in. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah, let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Y'all know what time it is, man. I know y'all won't have me introduce this show. Y'all know what it is. It's the Ask Urban Anything live show. It is what it is. It is what it is. What's up? Salute, y'all. Salute, salute, salute. What's up with it? What's up with it? It is the Ask Urban Anything show, man, where, y'all can want to ask any question y'all heart desire. I will answer it to the best of my ability. Or we could just chop it up and have a conversation. I don't care. I don't care, you know what I mean? But what's up with it, man? Show, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a fabulous, wonderful day. Enjoy Chit Chat. What's up with it? What's up with it? How you doing? I see you. She said, Urban in the audience, salute. What's up with it? What is up with it, man? Shoot. Hey, got my executive producer Tripper on me too, man. Lionel, he up in this mud. Talking about he want to hear Pukisha tonight. He said he want to hear Pukisha tonight, man. Damn. But it is the Ask Urban Anything show, man. Yeah, y'all could just ask me whatever questions you want to ask. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link too. Shoot. I'm trying to get my little StreamYard thing, so though I kind of sort of entered this show kind of a little bit unprepared here. It's kind of like one of them pop up things I just decided to do. It just is what it is. It is what it is. All right, we got that straight. All right, so. Once again, this is the Ask Urban Anything show. You can ask whatever questions your heart desire, or if you want to hit the link, by all means, you can come up and hit the link, have a conversation with me and all that good old stuff. Y'all know how it goes. Let me go ahead and get this drop for y'all so y'all can bring y'all toxic asses on up here. There you go. There you go. All right, so I do got something I want to talk to y'all about. All right, I do. Before people come up. George, she said this. She said, StreamYard, unbelievable. Let me check again. Who channel is on? No. Joy, the only time I use StreamYard is when I'm inviting guests up to talk to me. That's it. Now, good and damn well, my platform is not running on no damn StreamYard. It is not running on no StreamYard at all. The hell with StreamYard. But I only use StreamYard because, people feel more comfortable hopping on StreamYard and, hopping on links with StreamYard. So I do have StreamYard for that. You know what I'm saying? So people can just go hop up and have a conversation. That's one of the reasons why I have it. But other than my production, nah, no StreamYard here, baby. Not at all. But I do I do have something I want to talk to y'all about. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna share a clip. As a matter of fact, I think it'll be better for me to share this clip to give y'all a little bit of context of what I'm gonna talk about in a few seconds. So let me get this together real quick. Blah blah blah. Move this over here to this screen. Over here. All right. So here it is. Let me share this with y'all so y'all get a little context to what I'm gonna want to talk about in a few seconds. All right. So without further ado, let's do what's the screen you on? Is it right side? I guess it's this. All right, let's get a little bit of context and y'all listen up.
So now I'm driving a Mazda when I first got down here because I'm coming off of being homeless and lost 10 million. People didn't know that. So now I got two cars, one for my girl and one for me. And I'm driving a nice Mazda. It's a nice car. I thought it was a nice car. This guy said to me in Atlantic Station, he said, damn, man, I thought you'd be driving something bigger than a damn Mazda. I said, my man, I'm paying for two cars. I got $3,000 in car notes.
Salute.
I'm just saying, you a movie star, you got a little ass Mazda. So now I went and bought a $115,000 big ass Yukon XL. So I'm coming out the store, out of the, watching the football game the other night. This guy say, yo, my man, why you in that big ass truck? Bro, you can't never win, especially with black people. I love black people, but I don't fuck with any IGGAs because they bring the race down, man. Stop that. Nigga, I'm paying, my car note is $2,000. What is yours? And I got 3 cars, man. What are you talking about? It's just, I remember one time I was outside a club and this well-known actor, Malik Yorba's car came up. And this might have been the time he might have had his friends call, or somebody, his antique car. This girl said, damn, all he driving is a little ass shitty Bronco. I said, ma'am, you can't count that guy's money. She said, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Man, it's weird, bruh. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. It is weird being in the limelight and being judged on everything you do without people having the information. And it's not just black folks, but I've gotten it from black folks more than white folks. And I don't care wherever I go, whether it's a basketball game, a concert, it's always one hater. They want to fight me or get in my face.
All right, so let's talk about this, y'all. The reason why I shared this clip with Clifton Powell, because everything he was saying I could relate to. All right. Now, I'm not on the level where he's at, where he's an actor and he's in the limelight all the time. People know his name and different things like that. I'm not on that level, but however, in a more smaller level, I be experiencing that. All right. I experienced that. I experienced that from from family, from friends, even here in the YouTube streets where people are so hypercritical of you, you know what I'm saying? Or you could call it judgmental, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? It always seemed like that they have this high unrealistic expectation from you every single time. We could call it hating, whatever you want to call it, but I have experienced that, firsthand, for real though. I have experienced that a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, a matter of fact, those of y'all who know, right, I'm, my other business is that, you know what I'm saying, I do my DJing and stuff too, right? Literally my own business that I do. Do y'all know that the most critical, judgmental stuff that I done got from my business wasn't from white people or my white counterparts or Hispanic people or any other ethnicity, but the most critical part that I got was from black people, man. I ain't lying. They are the most critical, for real. It be our own people that be wanting to get a discount, you know what I'm saying? I tell them straight up the rate of my services, this is what I'm providing, and this is all the equipment that I'm providing to make your situation phenomenal, right? But guess what? They always want a discount. They always want to complain somebody is too high or too expensive. But when I deal with other people like my white counterparts, though, right, I tell them the price, they be fine with it. They don't argue with it or nothing like that. They'll pay the price and do everything possible to make sure that the event goes phenomenal. So once again, I can get it. I understand where Clifton Powell is coming from on that, because it be your own people, be your own black people that be the most critical, that be the most judgmental. Now, when I'm saying judgmental, I'm not talking about constructive criticism. You have some people who really care about you, right? They care about you, where they want to see the best out of you, so they give what is known as constructive criticism to help you elevate. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the literal key definition of people that straight up hating. And it be your own skin color that be hating on you for no apparent reason. All because they probably either jealous or whatever the case may be. Now, once again, that's with me dealing with my business side on the DJ. You know what I'm saying? I also deal with this dealing with content creation as well too, where once again, people be critical. People be judgmental. They don't give positive, constructive criticism, nothing like that. They always give negative criticism. Oh, your mic look a certain type of way. Oh, you need to do this, or you need to talk like this. Why do you talk like that? You need to talk like this, you know what I'm saying? And they always be super damn critical every single time. every single time. Well, what I learned to do in these situations, that I just learned to just kind of navigate that. I learned to just what's a good way for me to describe this? I learned to separate the wheat from the tares. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know why I thought of that Bible verse, but there's a Bible verse when it was talking about you have to separate the wheats from the tares and stuff, right? The only way you can separate the wheat from the tares is that you have to let the whole thing burn. You know what I mean? Then whatever's left over normally be the wheats, because the wheat could survive longer than the tares. You know what I'm saying? So in that same situation, I just separate stuff. I figure out who's who. I figure out who's literally for me, and I figure out who's literally against me by their actions, about what they do, how the way they do it, and how the way they move. You know what I'm saying? That's not only with, content creation, but that's everyday real life. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's my family, my friends, people who are call themselves co-workers, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I always move that way just to evaluate and see where people is at, so I won't be getting caught up into some unnecessary stuff. You know what I mean? So that's how I move and operate in that particular situation. You know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. This is the Ask Urban Anything show. I know this is a pop-up show, but it is what it is. To be honest with y'all, I came real close to just say forget it and just start DJing for y'all. You know what I'm saying? To start playing some music. But I'm like, you know what? I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. At least not right now. But once again, this is the Ask Urban Anything show. I do have the link drop just in case anybody want to come up and have a conversation with me, and we can want to chop it up, and we do what we do. Like I always on this show, because normally on my other shows it's more structured. You know what I mean? And so on this show, it's not structured at all. We could just talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. I don't care. Let's see. Selena Snapper fussing, talking about I'm not gonna win live late and all that good old stuff. Good night to you too as well too. You know what I'm saying? Selena, why do you always do that, by the way? Pop up in the chat. Hey, Urban, I'm going to bed. Good night. I mean, it's cool. It's all good. It's cool. Or you can just avoid all that and just catch the replay. I mean, ain't no requirement being in the chat. I'm just saying. But yeah, shout out to everyone who's also watching in the bushes as well too. Appreciate y'all tuning into this show. Appreciate y'all. Lionel, he's asking a question. What do you think of Demon Slayer beating out all the Marvel movies this year? Shit, I think that's a great thing. You know what I mean? Because Marvel been falling apart. I don't think Marvel's going to recover until they release on Avengers Doomsday. All right. Once when they release Avengers Doomsday and they don't sabotage this movie, there, hopefully Marvel could get back to where they was at. You know what I'm saying? After Endgame and stuff. You know what I mean? Because after Endgame, they just a crashing plane, man. Marvel just a straight crashing plane. The weird part about that too online is that even though Marvel is spiraling out of control with their little woke thing that they got going on with right now, DC should be capitalizing on this for real. But DC is not really doing nothing for us like the cinematic universe. Now, like for us comic books and the cartoon animation stuff that they got going on in DC, DC is doing good on that. But the movies, I don't know. Like case in point, the last DC movie that came out was Superman, right? Me and my daughters, we went to go see Superman. All right, the movie it was alright. It was an average at best, but it was just a little bit woke as hell. But I mean, it was alright. If y'all haven't seen the new Superman movie, it's out on HBO Max. Y'all could go watch it. But I mean, it was alright. It was alright. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Are we being too critical of Marvel? No, bro. It is Marvel being too critical on itself on the cool though. They being too critical on themselves with all this stuff they got going on, the woke stuff and all this other weird stuff. they got going on. But what was the last thing I watched with Marvel? Oh, Ironheart. I had watched Ironheart. That was the last thing on Marvel that I had watched. And, it was all right. Average as best. You know what I mean? It was okay. But, yeah. The interesting part about it is that I haven't even seen Demon Slayer yet. And I supposed to be going to see it, but I'm not just being too busy. I was being way too busy. Man, by the time I get around seeing Demon Slayer probably on Crunchyroll now. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is, y'all. Once again, y'all, this is the Ask Urban Internet show tonight, where y'all can ask any questions y'all heart desire, either in the chat. And I do got the link drop in the chat somewhere. I'm not throwing this link no more. All right, I can unpin it. Yeah, hold on, let me pin it. I pinned it at the top. That's the most I'm gonna do. I pinned this link at the one top. And then that's it. I'm not fixing to keep constantly dropping the link over and over again. Either y'all gonna pull up or you're not. It's just that simple. Damn, am I tripping? Why is this thing like pending? Oh, goodness. Give me 1 second, y'all. Stop it. I ain't trying to open it. I'm trying to pin it. Is it double tap? Single tap? Minus tap? What the hell? Why is this not working? I gotta hold it down? Man, I don't know. Shoot. Damn it. Oh well. There. Yo, man, I'm just like on a zero, don't give a fuck mood tonight. Lionel said, is comic book movies and TV shows been influenced by modern feminism? Yes, it is. All the way. Yep. It has been, yeah, I believe that these comic book movies and TV shows are being heavily influenced by woke liberalism, modern day feminism, and everything, where they want everybody to be equal for some strange reason. I don't know why, but yeah, it is. And it is taking the whole flavor out of everything. You know what I mean? Like comic books and stuff. You normally with the comic books, majority of comic books is more of a masculine feel to it, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Have a masculine feel, but now, they want to blend it all in together and have all this weird stuff going on, and it is what it is, But yeah, I believe it is. I also believe that it is. It's taking a lot out of it. It really is. It really is. Do you see women in real life talking about comic book movies the way they highlight them in movies and TV shows? To be honest with you, no, I do not. But however, what's interesting is that in this modern time, I'm seeing more women talk about more anime than the actual movies. You know what I'm saying? These comic book movies. A lot of women haven't even read an issue of the one comic books that are out there, like for us with Marvel or DC, Dark Horse, you know what I'm saying, or even Shugverse. A lot of them haven't even really read nothing, you know what I'm saying? They only just know about it because of the movies. So that's it, nothing more, nothing less. But they don't know the backstory of it. They don't know none of that, you know what I'm saying? Like case in point, like with my wife. My wife, she only knows about Marvel and DC based on the movies, but she don't know nothing about the comic books. You know what I'm saying? I sit down and have a straight conversation, talk about, issue 41 of Super Red, blah, 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 blah. And she be like, I don't even know what the hell you talking about. So she have no idea. Have no idea. And I believe a lot of women are like that too, that they don't have no idea about the actual comic books. You know what I'm saying? That, we as younger men had collected over the years. Now, One of the main things that we could collect over years was, first of all, comic books. Then the second thing that we slowly but steadily collecting was them Penthouse and Playboy magazines that we sent up here hiding from our parents and stuff. Remember that? Playboys and all that stuff. Them the other magazines we was collecting and stuff. It was comic books and that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm telling my age because I don't think people do that anymore. But yeah, back in the day, that's what we was doing, collecting comic books and porn stuff. I knew you gonna say Playboy. Yeah, I mean that's what we did back in the day, man. But like women, on the other hand, they didn't do all that, man. That's why I said I don't know nothing about the actual comic books, the actual storyline, or how everything is within these comic books. They only know when they watch the movies. So that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You know. But once again, I find it interesting that this modern generation is gravitated to more and more anime, you know, because at first, the anime community was being shunned upon. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? Matter of fact, you remember that line when the anime community was being shunned upon? They was up here saying that, you know, people over here in the Western culture, if you be looking at anime, there's something wrong with you. You like one of them weird kids in the house and all this stuff there. You know what I mean? That's weird stuff. You know what I mean? Remember that? But now it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's a different feel to it altogether. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is, man. Ain't this right, bro?
So I had to come up here. Hold on, working. Because when you say this younger generation's geared more towards anime, you're right. But at the same time, I don't like a lot of the conversations about anime. Because a lot of it is either the super popular anime, and then that's
true.
There's no real diversity in the anime that, like, if I'm sitting here like, yo, let's have a conversation, you know, about Darker Than Black. These kids don't know what the hell that is. If I bring up Black Cat, they'll tell you what Naruto is. They'll tell you what One Piece is, Demon Slayer. You bring up Get Backers, Samurai Deeper Kyo, they have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fact. So it's only the mainstreams that they know about. The mainstream anime.
That's the majority of the anime boards. The mainstream. Obviously, there are the smaller fandoms that will bring up certain things. But if I'm going to talk about Wolf's Rain, Trinity Blood, Witch Hunter Robin, they're not talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
But in the flip side, there's a other side to this that still goes with your point, but it goes into the AI conversation. Cornhub, last year, the results came out of the most searched topics or the most searched entry globally. The number one most searched term was hentai. Anime corn, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That was the number one top search across the board. So anime has been taking over the corn industry.
Yep. So a long time ago, like back in the day, I had a job and also concierge at one hotel, right? And so at this hotel, they used to host a anime convention every single year. Okay. And so I used to see all the different characters of people, you know, dressed up in anime, from Sailor Moon to Naruto to One Piece, you know, all of all the different animes and stuff, right? Like back in the day, I didn't know about a lot of the animes like I do now and stuff. But the reason why I knew about it is because when I was working at that hotel as a concierge, I became educated about it. You know what I mean? Because one of my duties for being a concierge is that I had to learn about my guests and I had to learn about what it is that make them think and what they want so they can have a phenomenal service. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn about anime. And so I started learning about this stuff. I was walking into the conventions, having conversations and, different things like that. But at the same time, my coworker counterparts and stuff, right, instead of them, trying to learn about it and learn about how it is and why people celebrate anime and watch it stuff, right, that was being critical about it. They was talking about them. They was separate saying, oh man, these people are weird. Oh man, these people are sticky. It don't make no sense, these grown people doing this and that, dressing up, cosplaying and different things like that. But at the same time, bro, these are the same ones, and I kid you not, these are the same ones when it came around to Halloween. Them dudes are separate cosplaying as Michael Myers, Jason, Chucky. Like, what the hell? So it's okay for y'all to cosplay on Halloween as a one demon, right? But these people who are cosplaying a literal anime that's not even evil. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me that that's what y'all doing is good and what they doing is bad? That's bullshit. Crazy.
Yeah, we're definitely in a time where people are embracing more so the popular anime, as I like to call it. It is a fun time to see, but at the same time, it's disappointing because I don't want to just have conversations about mainstream anime or the most popular one right now. I want to have conversations about just anime in general. But it's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Even the chicks I be finding, it'd be disappointing conversations because they want to talk about literally Naruto, Black Clover, One Piece, Demon Slayer. God dang, girl. I thought you was an anime fan.
Wait a minute, Black Clover still got shows going on? I thought that show ended.
No, it got a new season in production. It's about to come out. They trying to finish the story.
Oh.
Because the manga is still going, and it's kind of wild right now. My brother keeps me up to date with it.
Gotcha. Well, since we're on the top of the time about anime and comic books and stuff, right? We was on the back end and we was getting ready to have a discussion about Batman. You want to go lead off this conversation talking about this?
Batman is trash. I think Batman is the worst hero in Gotham City. I think Batman's one of the worst comic book heroes in history.
Oh man, you regret to offend all these Batman fans. But go into details and explain to them your thesis of why he is trash.
Bro, Batman has been out way too long. In terms of in storyline, what was he, 25 when he started? Dude, like early 60s. He been in Gotham City this long and ain't got no results to show for it. Out meta narratively, been out since 1939. It's 2025, got no results to show for it. This dude literally has done nothing to fix Gotham. This isn't to say he hasn't helped a little girl here and there, helped a little puppy here and there, got someone's chain back that got snatched. But the dude is, quote unquote, the protector of Gotham City. And I quote unquote that because I'm not really certain what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily argue if Batman wasn't there, the city would have burned down. I don't think so. But at the same time, what does he have to show for it? He has an ever-growing means of rogue gallery villains. He has an ever more growing situation of just sheer chaos. Even in the Arkham games, it's always smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So he's celebrated as this top hero, but all I see is one of the biggest villains comic books ever created. Because he absolutely just allows crime, chaos, despair, all of it. And he does it under the guise that he's trying to save Gotham. But he lying to himself.
So, to be fair, in this theory about Batman, right? We have to consider the rest of the heroes in the Justice League besides Batman. What about Superman and Metropolis? Is it safe to say that he's also trash as well too? Because
Nope.
he's similar to Batman in his decision making, right?
No, I can't say that. Metropolis basically been boring as hell for the better part of a decade now. I can't do that. Superboy got like nothing to do in Metropolis because Superman took care of everything. Most of Superman threats come from outside of Metropolis at this point. That city is literally still Final Destination all by itself, but he ain't got to worry about a big rogue gallery of criminals.
So how's that? He locked up the wrong criminals, or what? What did he do to?
Most of them have been locked away for a minute. Like, there's actually an article that came out, I think it was a year ago, about how they need to spice up Superman comics because it's been too boring since he's essentially fixed it.
Well, what did he do to lock up the criminals besides sending them to the Phantom Zone?
Wow, that he does a lot more than that. Superman breaks you, but in a nice way. In a nice way. I mean, let's be real. He made it that a lot of them dudes. What are you coming back for? You coming back to get this ass whooping? So they are locked away in Belle Reve, or they've sent them to that prison that's over the Flash's city. But in terms of Superman, no, he's got results.
Well, I mean, why is he sending them over to the Flash City? I thought he send criminals to the Phantom Zone too. I guess the high-powered criminals go there, huh?
So there's different means of sending high-powered criminals. The Flash's city houses the basically the worst criminals on the planet are sent to the Flash's prison. I forgot what it's called, but it's sent there. They did establish a new Arkham prison, a new Gotham prison also, but DC hails the Flash's prisons as the most dangerous and worst prison in DC. Belle Reve, you can still send superpowered criminals there also, and yes, some guys do go to the Phantom Realm if they're not some type of other threat that he finds a way to solve.
Mm-hmm.
Batman doesn't have those results.
So what would give Batman the results by him finally giving up his one thing that he wouldn't do, which is kill?
No, Batman doesn't even have to kill them. He can lobotomize people. He can transform their mind. This dude has the means to reshape the villain's mentality, but he don't want to go too far into that.
Wait a minute. Why?
Batman doesn't control himself. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, because they're like say he had the means to do it, absolutely. But the question is why he's not doing it.
Because he doesn't want to lose control. Batman is a little bitch. He doesn't want to lose control of himself.
Bro, that sounds like a psychological issue going on with him. Though.
He got psychological issues. That's why I'm telling you, people be praising this dude when they really shouldn't. The goal should be to get rid of Batman, not to encourage him.
So is this the reason why they had created the He Who Laughs character?
Which character?
The He Who Laughs.
Oh, that was. I mean, I don't want to say that's the reason, but they did. That was partly an excuse to show us this is what would happen if Batman kills the Joker. If he kills the Joker, he's gonna lose his mind. He's gonna become insane, and then next thing you know, he's gonna go on a killing spree. He's gonna kill his children. He's gonna just wild out because he can't control himself because he's that mentally weak.
Speak said there would be no Batman slander in here, and Ryan Ryan in the chat, he said Batman is really fucking gay.
Batman is a effing. I'm telling you, y'all can't make an argument that can come at me. I will destroy it. Batman serves no real purpose. That dude needs to be retired. Yesterday, yesteryear. If anything, he keeps Gotham worse. They just showed it with Gotham War. They've shown it too many times that people can solve Gotham, solve the issues there. Batman won't let them.
Well, that is true though. Where he had the Batman family there, and then he disappeared, and they end up on cleaning the city up. Then he end up pulling back up again and messing it up all over again.
Exactly. They literally showed it. How do you have an 80% drop in crime? But then Batman comes back and he's like, nah, I don't like this. And next thing you know, crime is all over Gotham all over again because he just couldn't accept that Catwoman got the job done.
Not Selena Kyle.
His ego will not allow it. Batman's the worst criminal, and he's the worst criminal. He's the worst hero in comic books. It's just no results.
So based on your theory, is he more of like an anti-hero?
No anti-hero. Now, I will say this. I'm going to contradict myself. In the Flashpoint movie, the live-action Flashpoint movie, Michael Keaton's Batman, he cleaned up Gotham. Gotham been cleaned up for, I think they said a decade. He had cleaned it up. That's a Batman who got results. Mainstream Batman should be taking notes from Michael Keaton's Batman.
Oh, yeah. Speak said all the criminals in Gotham are simps.
Damn. I got no comment on that. I mean, he has the means to change Gotham. Y'all can't tell me it's a money issue. Joker War literally showed he had $100 billion in his bank account. You trying to tell me he can't pull up the resources to fix some shit?
You remember the last Batman movie that came out, The Dark Knight Rises, right?
Technically, yeah, you're right. That is no. The last one was the one with what's that dude name? Was the Batman with that hot ass Selena Kyle?
No. I'm talking about with what's his name universe. I'm not talking about the Batman.
I remember that last Batman movie.
Yeah. I ain't talking about the Batman. I'm not talking about the Dark Knight trilogy. The Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, so there was a scene in the movie where Wayne Enterprises had invented this efficient machine. I guess it was going to give power to the whole entire city, but at the same time, it was a nuclear fusion, right? So Bruce Wayne did not want to activate it because he was feared that it was going to want to become a nuclear bomb. So this dude here literally traded to give efficient power to everybody in Gotham, where everybody in Gotham literally was going to be living rent free with electricity and all this stuff for life, and he didn't want to do that. And so eventually, Bane and his crew ended up finding out about that right then. They went on and turned it into a nuclear bomb, even though they didn't get to use it. But but that goes back to what you're saying about how the way the mentality of Batman is. You know what I'm saying? Where he be having the logic answer or the logic solution, but he don't want to use it because of his weird moral code or moral compass.
I don't even know if it's even that at this point. This is pure insanity. The old man needs to be locked away. He needs to hang up the cape and cowl. He needs to let Jason Todd or Dick Grayson or one of them take over. And he need to be sitting in his mansion, drinking tea, and letting Gotham get fixed.
So what about Terry McGinnis?
I mean, I'm all for Terry. I'm a huge fan of Terry. I'm not a fan of Bruce Wayne, though. He did every. Stephanie Brown had a way to fix Gotham. He said no. Dick Grayson tried to fix Gotham. He said no. Tim Drake had a whole plan. He said no. Jason Todd tried to make it happen. He said no. Selena Kyle tried to make it happen. He said no. Effing Superman, Kal-El himself tried to make something happen. He told him no. Go home. Batman don't want Gotham fixed.
Yeah, that sounds pretty insane though on the cool though.
He is insane. I don't even get how someone like Speak defends him.
So that kind of made me think about a lot of stuff, bro. Like, they call it the Batman contingency plan, right? Where he have a contingency plan for every known hero in that universe where he can want to defeat them, right? Why would a sane man want to do that? Especially if you call these people your friends.
So let me know. I'm not upset that he got something like that. But we watched this backfire epically with Amanda Waller. Last year, with Absolute Power, Amanda Waller took his fail-safe suit that had the means to do exactly what you just said, and she gained control over it. And she was able to transfer the consciousness of a Batman from a different dimension into this suit, which went on and fucked up the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
He had no contingency to his contingency. World's greatest detective, my ass. No, he took that L so bad. He essentially told Nightwing he was the leader of this arc because that L was all his fault. He knew it. He had no right to do anything. I do agree that he should have a contingency plan for these people, though. There's some heavy level hitters. F you being my friend. If you can blow this world up with a breath, I might need a means to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
But he is crazy. He's paranoid. But he's
with that being said, don't you think they need a contingency plan for Batman again, as you clearly demonstrated? Well, Amanda Waller did.
Well, a lot of them, these heroes are so egotistical. A lot of them don't have a contingency plan for him. Do I think they should have one? Absolutely. But they don't think. A lot of them aren't thinkers. This ain't Marvel where you got a bunch of telepaths. DC, you got a lot of dudes who don't think. So they let Batman go unchecked.
Yep.
That just coincidentally is best friends with Superman.
Mm-hmm. Once again, everybody, this is the Ask Urban Anything show. Right now, we're talking about comic books, preferably DC, preferably Batman.
We're talking about how Batman is the worst villain, the worst hero. in comic books. I don't get how people like Batman. It's like they choose to be blind to him.
So do you think Batman have a romantic relationship with the Joker, and that's the reason why he don't want to kill him?
No, he has an insane relationship with the Joker. I definitely won't say it's romantic, but it's definitely insane. And he's given us his reason. He's outright told us he doesn't want to kill the Joker because if he kills the Joker, a worser criminal will appear.
What the hell?
That is his reasoning. So the Joker is going to stay at Joker knows the secret identity. Joker just understands that he can dance around Batman all he wants. And it's just going to be an ever continuing game of cat and mouse. So at this point, Batman is allowing him. Go ahead.
Bro, that is a textbook example of a toxic relationship, bro.
It is.
Toxic romantic relationship.
I'm telling you, and a Joker would agree with you. He would love to hear that. But Batman can't kill him.
To be honest with you, I really never been a big Batman fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't get the whole concept about how a normal dude with the superpower suit could be in the same league with metahumans.
It's his intelligence, essentially. It's more
That's
so that
the same thing with Green Arrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about it with Green Arrow.
now, I'm not a fan of Green Arrow being looked at as any type of heavy hitter. But again, DC has peak human. These guys can, like Batman, can bench 1,000 pounds. He's peak
Wait-
human because of
Wait a
that.
minute, he can?
Yes.
That's canon?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's peak human. So because he's peak human, he's basically borderline metahuman.
Mm-mm-mm. So that doesn't make anybody be a metahuman these days, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the benchmark for that though?
I mean, you just got to be beyond human parameters, essentially. You got to be beyond the finest level, Olympic level athlete to be basically metahuman.
Oh, so Sha'Carri Richardson is considered as a metahuman, huh?
Let me also point out real quick that you're funny that their powers enable them as metahumans too, but they generally look at it as like if you have powers, you're beyond human level, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
What's
would
the
say.
other?
Go ahead.
Hey, well, what's the other girl that's a basketball player that they be talking about? That girl basketball player, cause
Angel.
all that. Yeah, Angel Reese. See, she's a metahuman too.
Get the heck out of here, man. So yeah, they have those systems, metahumans, peak human, Olympic level. That's how they look at them. Batman's just another one of them. They tell you he's peak human. Some would say he's metahuman because he has statistics that can match characters who are beyond human in capabilities.
Got you. Kind of similar to Lex Luthor, huh?
No, Lex Luthor wouldn't. Would he? I haven't checked on his stats in a long time. I don't know if he'd be considered that. Lex Luthor, he would be an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know he's an anti-hero. I know
He
for a
would
fact
definitely
he.
consider that. I mean, obviously, some people are gonna say he's a pure villain, but this is where people try to tell you intent matters, and I don't always think that. If my goal is to become the president of the United States for evil means, but I saved 50 different countries of poverty and whatnot, I still did a good thing.
Hmm.
Those people don't care about the intent. They care that they have clean water. They care that they have a home. They care that they're not being bombed.
Mm-hmm.
Batman, however, he allows the Joker to just stroll into the city and kill thousands and laugh about it.
And then they play that little cat and mouse game of trying to get
Well,
him locked back up into Arkham. Then finally do. Then
Joker
the cycle
sometimes,
goes all over again.
yeah, he goes to prison sometimes.
Mhm.
I mean, it
Speak
don't mean
said, Speak said, you sound like Homelander right now.
interesting.
Oh, speaking of Homelander, right? Have you watched Gen V?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so I seen season 1 of it. Season 2 get ready to come out.
Tell us what you think.
The same thing I think about the boys.
Well, we don't know what
like,
you think
like,
of
the boss was like watching Invincible to me.
I don't like. See, Speak. He likes Invincible. My sister liked Invincible. I didn't like Invincible. The only thing I liked about Invincible was Omni Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I liked. I agreed with Omni Man. I was behind Omni Man. The dude was effective. I don't like Mark. The nigga don't think. Even after his father beat the tar out of him and told him to think, the nigga still don't think.
Nope, not at all. I think I told you about this, right? I'll tell you again. I'm gonna let everybody else know, but the people already probably know about this. How did y'all feel about the issue in the comic book when that dude where Mark got grape on the battlefield?
Oh, my sister didn't like that. I didn't really care.
Yeah, Mark got grape like it ain't nothing on the battlefield. The dude sitting up here fighting. She said, I'm going to take you," and she literally did.
I'm not a fan of that stuff.
And
But
that dude was on the battlefield crying like ain't nothing.
nothing he could do. Nothing he could do. I didn't like Invincible. I personally thought it was boring.
I mean, that's how the way I feel about Invincible and the boys. I mean, it's entertaining to watch, but is it like peak superhero thing that I would love? No, not really. I mean, it's all right.
Like, and hey, it's popular. It's mega popular. Shout out to its success. Absolutely shout out to its success. But I'm not a fan. But I
Mhm.
wouldn't tell people not to watch it either, though, because I would recommend it to people.
Yeah. Yep.
Same way I feel about Batman, I feel about Spider-Man. I'm one of Spider-Man's biggest haters.
Do you know? I think Gen V was a little bit better than the boys.
Interesting.
A little bit for us the storyline of it, if that makes any sense. I think the storyline was a little bit more put together than the boys and all the seasons that they had with the boys. But I kind of like how the way they tied this storyline into the Boys storyline too, where they still in the same universe, since things still happening. So
Give me Power Rangers.
do say Power Rangers, and but now we ain't gonna skate away from Spider-Man.
I'm not
We'll
a
talk
fan
about
of
Spider-Man. Why you hating on Spider-Man, bro?
Well, one, I would argue I dislike Peter Parker more than anything else. But overall, I don't like him or his Spider-Man. I think he's no different than Batman. He hasn't
Well,
solved shit.
well, hold up. Since we're talking about Marvel now, we got to put it to the multiverse factor. So, which Peter Parker are you talking about?
Mainstream comics, 616, Peter Parker.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't like most Spider-Man, to be fair, but I'm definitely talking about that one. Too many advantages. Don't know how to capitalize off of them. And he doesn't, quote unquote, want to kill people. He wants to constantly hold back. He lets the same barrage of rogues come into the city and mess things up.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's a genius. He lacks efficiency. What's there to like? A hero that can't get the job done? I want to be able to walk outside at night. I want to be able to go to the store without thinking I'm about to get mugged.
Like if we're looking at this from a realistic point of view, how often is a person going to walk outside and get mugged?
Apparently,
in New York, in New York City.
Apparently, a lot.
Now I can understand if you go into areas like Hell's Kitchen and other areas like that where the crime rate is slightly higher than others, but overall, you're not going to get mugged going to the bodega like they super over exaggerate in the Spider-Man books. Now,
man. Okay, so I'm gonna take this back a decade. When we went to the Superior Spider-Man, the fact that he created 800,000 spider bots that were active to alert the proper authorities of crime being done shows you how bad it was. That's a lot of crime happening in one night. And you got Spider-Man web slinging, saving maybe 3 or 4 people a night. What about the other 1,000 that's getting robbed, mugged, raped, assaulted? Then you gonna tell me I gotta stop? Venom's on the loose. Shocker's back. Scorpion's back. Rhino's back. God dang, Parker. Why haven't you taken care of it?
They keep escaping, bro.
And he lets it. At some point, it becomes his fault.
So hold on. In this situation, how's it his fault when they the one who keep on escaping this high level prison?
He could literally break Shocker's arms, break his legs. That's fixed. Make sure his equipment's gone. He got the strength to do it. We know for a fact that Spider-Man can literally punch out Wolverine, 1 round knockout. He got the strength to break things.
But choose not to do it. I get you.
But choose not to do it. So at some point, it becomes his fault. But then you ask about Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He just wants to be a broke bum.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't get that at all. Where he choose to live this homeless life, you know what I'm saying? Where he barely got a job and barely got a living, but he enjoys going out and slinging web and getting beat up and getting taken over by alien symbiotes and stuff.
People worship Spider-Man, and I don't get it. There's nothing about him that you need to worship. Why worship a broke bum who gets no results?
And to top it off, he be making some very, 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 very feminine decisions.
Damn. Tell us about it.
Like, case in point, this dude, he'll sit up here and choose between if he's going to fight, as you say, the shocker, or is he trying to go on a date with Mary Jane? This dude will sit up here and make a choice to my, well, I want to have it all. I want to marry Mary Jane, but at the same time, I want to be Spider-Man and do this and that. And guess what? He'll make a dumb decision, like a female.
This is when Universal Jones needs to be giving us his expertise about why he would do shit like that. I don't like Peter Parker at all. And I think he does make a ton of dumb choices. Let me catch this criminal, or let me go check on my Aunt May in the hospital. He going to try to catch the criminal.
Mm-hmm.
No priority.
Yeah, they go to May after the fact. Oh, she dead now, bro.
We find out there are so many things he hasn't done. And I'm not trying to say some things he couldn't accomplish, but Superior Spider-Man was one hell of an eye-opener to what Peter is. And he's a bum-ass wigger. And he chooses to be that.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Bruce, he's rich and chooses to do nothing with it. Some people will say, oh, he got the Wayne Foundation. Who the hell the Wayne Foundation helping?
That is a good question, because in the canon story, the only time the Wayne Foundation really helped the people is when Thomas Wayne and them was alive.
You're gonna have fans. Now let me know. You saying that. You're gonna have fans that's gonna defend this situation. They're gonna sit here and tell you about how the Wayne Foundation has been helping kids and stuff this entire time, but they rarely talk about it. I will admit they do talk about it sometimes. However, there's no real results coming from it.
Mm-hmm.
This dude that has $100 billion in the bank account. This dude that has connections to Superman, to Zatanna, to Constantine, to Dr. Fate. The dude who has connections to everybody that can make this city a paradise can't somehow figure out a way to use it. Dude is the second smartest person on the entire planet. And yet he can't figure out a way to fix Gotham. Somebody in the chat would like to tell you that Gotham's cursed. That's why. So he's trying to tell me that you can't help get Zatanna, the woman who fought the embodiment of nothingness, to say a chant to fix that curse? Dr. Fate, the center of power. You're trying to tell me you can't find a way to take that curse away?
Mm-hmm.
At some point, y'all got to admit he is a villain. Or he's just a really bad hero.
Mm-hmm.
I always look iffy when someone talks about they like Batman. They support Batman. What? Now I gotta break your soul. I gotta be Ra's al Ghul.
Not Ra's al Ghul, dang.
Like, because it just sounds funny. But I also, don't get it wrong. Like, when I look at comic books in modern era, especially how they try to portray this crap on TV and the movies, Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury.
Yeah, I'm about to ready to ask you which one.
He is a horrible hero. He is bad at his job.
Yeah, he made terrible decisions too, bro. I ain't lying.
When they found out that Hydra never lost, the Nazis never lost, that Hydra was S.H.I.E.L.D. from every layer. Fury, what have you been doing this whole time? The white Nick Fury wouldn't have let this happen.
Not the white Nick Fury.
What is he doing?
So speaking of which, do you think they're gonna introduce the white Nick Fury in the Marvel Cineverse?
I hope they do, because the black one has been a colossal failure. Please bring the white Nick Fury in. We need justice on the Nick Fury name.
Maybe they'll introduce the white one in Secret Wars when it comes out.
Right. Hey, I'm for it. I'm absolutely for it. They're taking forever for a lot of things, but hey, I know that they're like you brought up early, they're heavily critical of themselves. They're doing
Facts.
a lot of stuff right now to try to fix what a lot of the complaints are. But personally, I think that's one of the biggest problems they have. They listening too much to the people.
Exactly. And instead of just sticking to the canon comic book, it just roll from that. I mean, you can't go wrong. The script is literally there. Just do it. Forget what everybody else said. Just do it. Now, all this other extra stuff y'all need to be adding on. We don't care about if the heroes is having an LGBTQ relationship in the story. Who cares about that? All we wanted to do is see the action and all that good old stuff.
I'm going to stop you in a second for a minute, because I agree with that part. But when you hear about the Thunderbolts, and essentially the original script was essentially just Black Widow 2.0. And I'm sitting here like, I don't see a problem with that. Yelena is massively popular. Why not make it about her? Like, why not? You could just, I mean, when you watch Justice League, the cartoon show, it's Batman and his bitches, essentially. That's all that show is.
Riff was so with it, bro. Yeah, I agree.
Like, I would have capitalized off of that, and nobody, don't get me wrong, no one complained about the Thunderbolts regardless. But everybody would have been satisfied just watching the story about Yelena. But no, they wanted to try to make it about everybody and shit like that. And it's like, okay, that's cute. Now give the girl her own movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not throwing money away?
So I went to see Fantastic Four. All right.
Oh yeah. I know, dude. So it's like, it's funny how I'm about to completely switch my tune, and I know it, because I don't like them literally they're highlighting the women in this situation. Susan Richards has to be the leader of this. We got the female Silver Surfer. That's, the Herald of Galactus. And I'm just sitting here, why? And now they've had to literally come out and tell us Reed Richards will be the leader of the Fantastic Four when Avengers Doomsday comes. So why wasn't he just the leader to begin with?
Well, wait a minute. I thought that was doing this so Sentry and Franklin Richards will have a key component in Doomsday.
I don't know. Do not put your money on that yet. However, because of what's coming, maybe do not just don't go to the bank with that just yet. Because right now, remember, a lot of things, they're trying to get rid of this multiverse arc so they can finally go into X-Men. That's where their bread and butter is. That's what they're looking at. X-Men. It's already affecting the comics. I've already told people I know. I'm like, watch, Scarlet Witch about to be a mutant again. Spider-Man about to be a mutant again. Franklin Richards about to be a mutant again. They about to turn all these dudes right back into mutants because they are just literally aiming.
They've been hitting on to that too on the Kudo, like the show. What was that girl, Marvel girl, Captain Marvel, the
Yeah.
other girl. So,
I think
they towards the end of her show, right? They start introducing the concept about gene splicing and mutation. Then they start introducing the terminology of mutant in it too. So yeah, they are gearing towards converting that where they're gonna be start calling everybody mutants and stuff. Then next thing you know, it's gonna be a whole racist type thing, right? Where
so. So I'm debating on this. I don't know which direction they're going to go in this. And I'm saying this because Marvel has had a problem with the X-Men for a while. And they kind of had to give in back, let me think, a decade ago, literally, actually. They was trying to cancel Fantastic Four and X-Men. Those were the two things they were trying to cancel. I
hmm
personally think it had more to do with movie rights than anything else, but they just talked about complications that were happening. They didn't like the whole racism thing and prejudice thing with the X-Men. Fantastic Four didn't really have a good reason for them to try to cancel it. That's why I thought it was movie rights
hmm
situation. But in the comics, they killed off mutant after mutant. They were trying to also kill off the Fantastic Four for a second, but Cyclops had that major death. Xavier getting killed off. Magneto's gone. Rogue is plagued with an illness that's killing her. Jean Grey's dead. You
hmm
know, Wolverine killing him off. They were killing the mutants off, period. And they were gearing up for the Inhumans. They didn't have the rights. So they were
hmm
going to go with Inhumans. And they put Inhumans on the forefront, trying to, parade them like they're going to be the new X-Men. It did not get received well by people.
Yeah, it sure didn't.
But they didn't care. Marvel said, we're going to go through and we're going to go off the Inhumans. And then that fateful event happened. Disney bought the rights to the X-Men. And then when I tell you this happened almost immediately, next thing you know, the next big event, the end of the Inhumans. Jean Grey's resurrected. Magneto's back. Xavier's back. Wolverine's been revived. Rogue is cured. Cyclops has returned. He literally was the first person we saw come back from the dead with the end of the Inhumans arc. They brought all them back and it caused a mass extinction to the Inhumans. So you know where Marvel's mind was at.
hmm
We got to get ready now. And then, of course, currently in the comics, they have numerous X-Men titles. They are not playing games. And they're gearing up for the X-Men return in the movie because they're hyped. Now, officially, they can't recast any of the old X-Men characters from 20th Century Fox until summer of next year.
hmm
That's why I also have hypothesized they kept pushing things back because they want to be able to start telling people about the X-Men. They can't right.
Hold on. How they was able to cast on old boy to be Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds be Deadpool and all of them.
That one was more so that was still under 20th Century Fox, but in combination with them, Marvel exclusively cannot recast anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know you're talking about. Yeah, Marvel exclusively cannot until summer of next year. I mean, Disney can give them permission though.
hmm
I mean, 20th Century Fox can give them permission, but everything now is going to the X-Men. That's what their big thing is. Kevin Feige, whatever his name is, he outright stated they're going to recast MCU. All the Avengers are getting recasted.
Yeah, that old super woke Kevin. Kevin's such a super liberal.
See,
Kevin
now when I look at
Feige.
when we talk about like X-Men and stuff, I don't put them in the same category as like Batman or Spider-Man. They on a whole different objective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about mutant rights. But that's why I also hope that they're going to do justice with them in the movies. Because we've seen what 20th Century Fox did with the X-Men, and it makes me roll my eyes. That's why I call all those movies Wolverine.
He said Wolverine.
That's what it was. That first X-Men movie was Wolverine. The second one, Wolverine 2. That third one, Wolverine The Last Stand. Like, all of them movies were just Wolverine. We didn't get an official first X-Men movie till X-Men First Class.
Wolverine, the Wolverine, Wolverine in Tokyo.
I'm telling you, that's what they were doing. And that's because the director outright stated he loves the Wolverine character.
Is it more so he loved Hugh Jackman playing the
Well, I mean,
Wolverine?
Wolverine did a great job. The only thing that they got wrong about him was his height. Outside of that, Hugh Jackman did a phenomenal job. I will give him his due diligence. He was Wolverine.
So they did troll Wolverine height on Deadpool and Wolverine when Deadpool was trying to look for another Wolverine, and there was a scene where they actually showed Wolverine true height on there.
Because the dude 4'10", 4'11".
Mm-hmm.
So I want quality to come out like how we're doing in anime. Although right now it's just one movie. But this isn't to say we haven't had other movies in the theaters. Blue Lock, episode Nagi did very well. One Piece, Red did very well. Demon Slayer, of course, breaking
Mm-hmm.
records. Dragon Ball Z did well.
Man, that's crazy that Demon Slayer is still sitting up here in the top box office, bro.
They originally projected that it would be hitting at near the 900 million mark. Hey, I'm again at my place of business. People be coming up to me. You seen that Demon Slayer movie yet? Just people asking that question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My oldest daughters, they have went to see Demon Slayer. I told you before, I haven't seen it yet, but they seen it. They're like, yeah, Dad, yeah, it was a good movie. They kind of had doing a little bit too much fillers for me, but other than that, it was cool. Like,
And
all right.
that's what they did with that other season. Because even when my brother heard about that Swordsmith arc and whatnot, he was like, "Dude,
Mm-hmm.
that chapter was so short." And
Yeah,
then
it was.
they're sitting here like they got to make original episodes for it to keep it pushing. And the season still did very well. I mean, that first Demon Slayer movie did exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm.
This current movie just surpassed it the other day. So you have once again, they're showing you the power of anime. I'm personally I'm not a huge Demon Slayer fan, but I also don't knock it because it is a fun story. It's average, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I would call peak anime.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of which, man, let's talk about the one Sugarverse. All
Go
right.
for it.
So, man, you seeing the comment that the old boy was talking about?
I did one of the comments. Actually, I did see the comment earlier. Yes.
Yeah, cause he just made a dry comment about it. Like, okay, like that's
I
it.
I told you that's what I'd be getting though. Now this one isn't one of the rude ones, but yeah, that's all they can say. But that's also because their mind is stuck in a 1970s philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. A lot of their minds are stuck there. They can't comprehend particular things. And so that's what, to them, it's going to be stupid. To them, it's not going to make sense because their mind hasn't evolved. It hasn't expanded.
Hmm. So tell me this: if you were offered $1 million to create a Sugarverse movie, how would it go for you? How would you
I mean,
design it?
I need to make sure I got my rights.
Yeah, in this hypothetical situation, you got everything that you need to make this movie the way that you want to make it. And so how would you do it?
I would actually, I would use my Solecism storyline where I have the two characters. They're called Wakers. They're
Hmm.
paradoxes, and they are journeying around different dimensions, looking for people that have fallen asleep in order to wake them up. And they're trying to wake them up because if they sleep too long, then every quantum configuration of existence will will cease to end. Well, yeah, will cease to be. And they're also trying to wake them up as part of a ritual because these guys have lost their memories of the world they used to live in. So
Hmm.
they're trying to gain those memories, and every time they wake someone up, they create a fragment which unlocks a piece of the memory that they lost. And so I would go with that story exactly how the first set of books I did. I think it's 11 of them. They're all short stories, but I
Hmm.
would go about that. I
Yeah,
think
because
that would be captivating.
that tells more of a origin story a little bit, right?
It does. It gives you a sneak peek of the characters. It gives you a journey. It gives you everything you could. People would complain that I don't do, but it has everything there.
Hmm.
It gives you a destination. It gives you all of that. It's led
Yeah.
by two black characters. Like it can't go wrong.
And I believe in that one it gives a little bit of an introduction about the Suge Logic too,
It
right?
does. It'll give you a little bit of. It gives you a little bit of everything. But let me be honest, because you can also add stuff in there. It has a lot of room to add stuff to it.
Hmm.
And it could probably go to 3 movies, honestly.
Hmm. Now, would you make it an anime or would you make it a live action?
Well, I mean, it has the ability to do both. I personally would want to do anime, but I don't like the numbers that get done with new shit. So
Hmm.
my I would be safer doing an anime than doing a movie.
So, with the anime movie, who would you want to voice your characters?
I'm voicing these. No, I'm playing.
He
I
said, "I'm voicing all these.
can't trust
I'm
these
voicing
people.
all of them."
I don't know, like, because if it's gonna be Japanese, it kind of don't matter just as long as the two main characters got a deep voice. But if I'm looking at American voiceovers, I really got
Hmm.
to sit and think of that. I really have to sit and think of that.
Would you have a Miron doing the soundtrack?
Now, in terms of the soundtrack, I would want Hiroyuki Sawano or
Hmm.
Yuki Hano to be doing my soundtrack. If I can't get them, I mean, who wouldn't want a Christopher Nolan making this epic? Just saying, Hans
So
Zimmer.
Christopher Noah, he gonna want that to be a live action. He ain't gonna be trying to do no anime. He
But
wants an explosion and
yeah,
all
I'm
kind of
just
weird
saying,
stuff.
I, it's like even in terms of Japanese artists, I would want Lisa or Garnadelia giving me a nice ass intro if possible. Like I got ideas, and it would be sick, and I guarantee I'm gonna have you suckered in episode 1.
You gotta hook them in at episode 1, of course.
That it will be episode 1 that has people just hooked in, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, I want to see episode 2."
You know, hey, you know when I first watched Naruto, right? I had watched the very first episode. I like, man, who the hell is this old yellow ass kid walk around talking about believe it? That's all he kept saying throughout the whole episode. Believe it. It was annoying as hell, but it was a hook. Like, well, I guess I'm gonna watch the episode 2 to see why he's saying believe it.
So let me know. My story's a bit different with Naruto because my first episode. No, my brother had showed me the fight with Zabuza and Haku versus Naruto and Sasuke, but I wasn't really in it. And then he showed me some of the Chunin exam, which again, I wasn't feeling it. And I still wasn't going to be like, you know what, I'm going into this. It wasn't until I was just watching it. And it was Shikamaru versus Tamari in the Chunin exam. After that episode, I was hooked. I said, EJ, who this nigga? I like this one.
Yeah, Shikamaru was lit though, man.
That's who got you to watch this? I said, dude, this fight was incredible. He like, not Sasuke, not Rock Lee, Shikamaru. I said, dude, I love this intellect. This was hot.
Yeah, I mean that Rock Lee and Gara fight. It was all right, you know.
It was all right. A lot of people overhype it, in my opinion, but it was all right.
You know a fight that was underrated, but it was really good. It was when what's her name, Hinata fought against Neji.
I didn't even know that. I saw that fight too. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I wanted the dude to beat her down. That's all I Now, in hindsight, when I go back, I like the story behind it. I love the story behind it. I love the hatred Neji had. And I even explained this to people. I'm like, y'all make it sound like he did something wrong. We get his backstory. He has every right to be very upset. And it's like, don't forget. All right, Hinata's father got on his hands and knees and begged him for an apology. I mean, said, I'm sorry. He was begging him for mercy. He apologized to him. Neji just damn near killed his daughter, put her in ICU for the foreseeable future. And he's sitting here saying, I'm so sorry, Neji. He knew that his family was in the wrong.
And then later on down the line, Naruto decided to simp for Hinata and fight Neji in the World Fighting Rounds.
I would actually argue Hinata was simping for him. But yeah, he's sitting here not understanding this business. It was none of his business to begin with. But he's over here arguing on Hinata's behalf. I don't like how Neji lost that fight.
Yeah, I mean, a matter of fact, I don't like it how they killed Neji off. That was insane.
Like that. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that. I think they was literally going for a shock value, and they got it. I'm like, really?
Yeah, sure did. Sure did.
Y'all like that? Again, Bleach is another anime I don't particularly think started off great. It's not until you literally get to like when Renji and Byakuya come that it really gets interesting. But then that's like episode 14, 15.
It didn't make no sense for it to get the story becoming interesting into them episodes. There was a lot of video that they had to waste just to build it up to that.
I just couldn't get behind Bleach in the beginning. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you're in it, you're in it. And once they really started popping off with it, I was hooked. However, that only went so far too. Bleach had
Mm-hmm.
all those fillers. If I had that type of control over my anime, y'all wouldn't get fillers. Or at least it wouldn't be like that. They did fillers in the middle of main fights.
Yeah, that was insane right there. That was insane.
I'm sitting here like, wait, what? Who thought this was a good idea? Next thing you know, anime canceled.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this: if you're gonna have fillers, right, at least make it goes with the whole flow of the
But
series. You know what I'm saying? Or the arc. Make it go with the flow of the arc. Where
you're
you're like,
right.
oh, okay, this it's nothing wrong with looking at this.
That's why they failed because they didn't do that. That's why they failed. Naruto has fillers, but they made it go with the storyline. They took the
Mm-hmm.
perfect time to expand it, and they had filler. Hell, after the Sasuke retrieval arc, we were supposed to be going into Naruto Shippuden, but guess what?
Yep.
They're gonna add a whole bunch of more episodes to Naruto, and thus they started introducing other stuff. What makes this
Mm-hmm.
better is that Naruto Shippuden was a 3 year time skip, which gave them that opportunity to do more stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, the anime could go forward.
Yeah,
On
even with on Boruto where they was doing all the time skips and stuff, like the beginning of Naruto, man, that crap suck. But
that,
when they start getting more deep into it, and eventually they started doing the time skips and all the stuff, I'm like, okay, I see what you're going on here.
I'm not a
See
fan
what
of
you're
JoJo's
doing.
Adventure.
Yeah, me
I just,
neither.
I,
Yeah,
I can't.
JoJo. Yeah, I couldn't get into it, bro.
It does nothing for me. I've watched season six or season five, one of them, and I watched season one, and I just can't get behind it. I'm not saying it's horrible. It's very popular, and some people think, oh, maybe it's because of the art. No, the art ain't got nothing to do with it. It just doesn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't get into JoJo neither, bro. You got further than me.
I'm just, hey, I tried, and I watch a ton. People be hitting me up. I'll be having anime playing in the background when I'm either working at home or if I'm working. Shoot, here I'm overnight working. Be having my phone up against the glass, watching anime playing.
Mm-hmm.
People try to get me with that Megan Thee Stallion crap, and they're like, "Yo, Megan Thee Stallion."
Yeah,
She like,
you, hey, you remember the show I did with Megan Thee Stallion dating that basketball player. Man, this
yeah,
it's still people still to this day commenting off of that video, and I said her like, Irby, you need to give her some grace because she's slowly but steady changing for him now. I'm like, man, get out of here.
she's. Oh dang! I thought you was about to say they talking about anime,
Mm-mm.
but no, they talking about changing. They got to cut that shit out. Once a hood rat,
So,
always a hood rat.
hey, one lady commented under that video talking about people can change. You know that, right? I'm like, all right, bet.
Under extreme conditions, people will change. I agree. Most people are who they are from high school. There are
Hmm.
subtle differences, of course, but most people aren't changing.
Yep.
Like I'm serious. I had a conversation. Dude, the AI conversation on another person's channel bugged me so much. I had to talk about it with my brother because
And what he thought about it.
man. So he's 50-50 on AI. He is opening up more to it, but he just doesn't like the idea of people losing their jobs over it.
Gotcha.
Get that.
Which that's fair.
And I get that. But I'm also sitting here like people act like AI is something new. Like it's something that's come out in the last 5 years. They've been using AI since the 70s at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been out. Any of you old people that was playing Pac-Man, they was using AI for that.
Mm-hmm.
They was using AI for medicine back in the 80s. So I'm sitting here like people are acting like this is brand new, but it's not.
Yeah. So let me kind of pick your brain on this. You know about the Neuralink that they're trying to bring out, right?
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
I personally, I have a problem with my mind being manipulated by external forces. I
Yep.
have a big issue with that. Hence why I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any type of recreational drug.
Mm-hmm. Because the theory behind that is that they're trying to create a artificial soul that be Neuralink into the actual conscious of a soul.
And I get that because this is where quantum physics comes in. And quantum physics, which they call spooky science, they leave room for people to discuss the concept of the soul in that because they have told us in their search of diving into the mind, there are things that are unquantifiable that they cannot figure out. It's the conversation I had with you about emotions,
Mm-hmm.
how emotions are unquantifiable. They haven't been able to fully like get a grasp on it because of the complexity of the mind. Don't get me wrong, it's not like we haven't studied and whatnot, but
Mm-hmm.
the complexity of it makes it hard to definitively tell us about what emotions are. And so it goes back to the soul because certain things in neurophysiology cannot explain why the mind does what it does. We don't build our mind. That's one thing people don't get. People love to hit you with that you're a grown person, you made this decision. But at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, they say that like you built your mind. You didn't build your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so trying to capture the essence of the soul is going to be complicated.
I mean, just by you saying that goes into the realm of talking about free will now,
But that's
because
what that is.
yeah, because a lot of people they'll say that they have free will, but if we if we don't have control of our mind, that means we don't have control of our thoughts, and therefore we don't have control of our actions, meaning that all of this was already predetermined for it to happen to begin with anyway.
There's a
Hence,
neuro
no free will, right?
there's a neurophysicist. He's a neurophysicist did a thought experiment on people, and he told them right now, pick a city, anywhere in the world. This is basically as free as a thought you're going to have. So he would pick a city somewhere, and let's say Randallstown, but you picked something else. So he didn't ask you, are you free to choose something that you don't have access to? If you have free will, were you free to choose a city that you did not know about? Now, some people get confused with this, but he's telling you about the limitations of free will, especially if you believe in the Judeo-Christian God,
Mm-hmm.
that there's limitations behind it. And so he brought up that one dude, Charles Whitman, I think, the dude that had this tumor pressing on his nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And the tumor that was pressing on his nerve was actually pressing on a place that excited violent actions.
Mm-hmm.
And hence he killed a couple people before taking his own life. And that became a study. People love to tell you how you have this, Urban, you're a grown man. You have your own thoughts. You can choose to do this, but you didn't build your mind. That's just the reality.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Urban wasn't building his mind because, again, you walk into this world with a blank slate. You need to be guided. You need to be manipulated by the adults around you, by the environment around you, to get you from point A to point B. But then the more you're growing, the more this becomes the other argument. The more you're growing, the more it's like information is pouring. It's like information's being unlocked. So it's like your mind was already, how your mind was going to operate was already determined.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have people who don't even know their fathers, who ends up acting like their fathers, and they find out later. People who were born to a different parent feel like something's missing until they meet that parent. You have parents who will sit there and be like, damn, you act just like me when I was this age. Damn, I wonder why. Because you have that. This isn't to say DNA, because DNA contains a ton of information. And we got
True.
DNA being passed down. But
No, I said true.
and we got DNA being passed down from a long lineage of stuff. However, your dominant genetics are going to come from the two people that had you. Unless you want some atavism type shit, it's going to be from the two dominant people that had you. And so that's who you're going to look to. People have a habit of having that bond. You got a whole deadbeat, not you, but people have a whole deadbeat father or mother and yet still cling to them. That attachment.
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, F my mom, F my dad. I don't want nothing to do with you. That nigga give you a hug. Now all of a sudden you breaking down.
Yep.
But it goes back to what I'm saying. That connection was already created because, again, these people, again, their DNA, their genetics combined to create you. But I'm going to go back and say it again. They created you. You didn't create your mind. You didn't create your soul. If you go esoteric, God created your soul. But you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't create your prior experience. Everything about you didn't create. So the more of your memories, the more knowledge, everything that unlocks, it ends up being shaped by external forces that you had no control over. You're not the author of your story on a higher scale. And I say that because I'll actually do this to me. I didn't write Urban in my story.
Mm-hmm.
Urban just showed up. I didn't have no freedom of will to just write that into my story. No, Urban showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write YouTube in my story. It just appeared.
Well, one would argue that it was a category of events that occur in order for it to manifest into your
Which
story.
I had no control over.
Yeah, which you have, of course, you have no control over it. Unless you want to throw out there that it was your choices and decisions that led to it, but even then, you still don't have control of that, right?
You have control over that. Because, it's the, what's it, EKG? It's the EKG experiment where they're choosing right and left, where they're choosing the right button or the left button. And they've literally shown that people have basically, they have the answer. They know what they're going to pick before they're consciously aware of it. Like the mind is already showing you what they're gonna do before they're consciously aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, once again, questioning free will. And again, if you're high faith in God, you have no free will. He's written your story.
Yep.
He's written your story.
And I have had this conversation with people who who believe in God, or they're part of organized religion, and I don't be letting them know that in reality you don't have free will. If God is the Alpha and Omega, say He's the beginning and the end, then that means He already predetermined everything that's going to happen to you, even before you became into existence. But people don't want to agree with that. The reason why is because we want to be in control of our own destiny, or be in control of things that we want to be in control of. But in reality, we're not.
They don't
Not
care
at
what
all.
they're. If you're telling someone that you want to be in control of your own destiny, the very fact that you're calling it destiny tells you it's been predetermined.
Exactly.
So you can't be in control of your own destiny. Can't be in control of your own fate. You can't, because it's already there. There's already a line that's telling you this is how your story's gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, regardless if you determine it as good and bad. I mean, my mindset kind of didn't change about the theory about good and bad. You know what I'm saying? The reason why is because we determine things to be either good or bad based on how we observe it. You know what I mean? If this thing is happening to us, right, and if it's happening to us in a way where it's we call it positive or good, then we determine that's good. But let it be the same person who have the same exact experience happening to them, right? They'll determine that is bad. But the whole point is that we the one who's up here making the choice of this decision to determine what's good, it was bad. And so my theory behind this now is that there's really not a such thing as a good and a bad. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it from a more broader perspective.
So when you look at it from a broad perspective, good and evil are human concepts. When you look at it from a micro expressive, then yes, there is good things and there are bad things. There are positive and negative events that do happen. I am not keen on hurting other people. If you're doing something that's hurting someone, I don't agree with it, but I also understand life is built on chaos.
Yeah, exactly. That was the ultimate point that I was going to make too, is that our whole entire life, our whole existence is built on chaos. It's chaotic, you know what I mean? It's like a blend of it, chaos and non-chaos,
Chaos don't look at concepts like good and evil. It just sees reality. Because some things that hurt you make other people feel good. There is a sick way to look at that also. But that's just, again, reality. People don't want to look at reality way too often. They want an illusion.
Yeah, because illusion is way more comfortable than a reality.
And, I was actually
way more safe.
Definitely that. When you're looking at something like I brought up earlier, Cornhub. Cornhub is an illusion. Look how big it is. OnlyFans is an illusion. Look how big it is. People are paying for the fantasy. That fantasy is very important.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. What you got any final thoughts, bro?
Oh, I appreciate you having me up. You might need to cut some of these, man. Make some videos out of this. This was a good show.
Of course. And you also got your anime/Batman show too.
Flash that up, man, so we can post that. I'ma share that crap. Rub it all in Speak's face.
Oh yeah, yeah. If he's still in the chat, but shout out to everybody who tuned into the show. This was our Ask Urban Anything show. Lionel, he wanted to ask me questions about anime and the comic book stuff. He been wanting to talk about this, by the way, for the longest. So why not on this episode? So why not? While we chilling.
People scared, so I'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
They be all shy and crap.
Yeah, I don't know why they be afraid to have a conversation with me.
They think you're gonna destroy them, man. They think you're gonna terrorize their beliefs.
I'm absolutely am. Yeah, this definitely was gonna happen. You know, but hey, it ain't no different from when I go on to other people's shows and they try to attempt to do the same thing with me, but.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you for having me up, man. Have a good night.
Oh, one other thing. Now, Rufus, he said this. He said he learned a lot from anime about relationships with women and everything in life, and that's facts, bro. Because we could contest to that. Because me and Lionel, we talk about this all the time and stuff. How the way anime have real life situations built into it. They'll help you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Bye, man. You have a good remainder of your night at work, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah, what's good, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in to the one show. This was the Ask Urban Anything show where I just open it up and we just have a conversation about anything. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all want to stand up this late for this show, this episode of the show. Make sure y'all want to catch the shorts that I had dropped earlier today. Make sure you catch that. I also dropped a video earlier today. Make sure you catch the replay of that. All right. Want to get more good quality content? Make sure you're a sub up and make sure you have your notifications set when I go live. All right. So other than that, y'all, appreciate y'all like always. Y'all have a great and wonderful night, and we'll see you again on the next episode.